Wolves haven't won a single game in the Premier League, but they've just put in the performance that could kickstart their season, knocking Everton out of the EFL Cup, beating them by 2-0. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down how they did it. We're going to be taking a look at the tactics involved and the new formation that Vitor Pereira used to not only get a win in this game, but hopefully kickstart Wolves this season. Going into this game, Vitor Pereira made a very bold and brave call. He changed the formation, moving away from that 3 at the back to a 4 at the back, allowed for one of those defensive players to be moved into midfield, giving Wolves a better control of that midfield area, especially with the energy of Bellegarde and Molineux and the technical quality of Andre. It was through Bellegarde and Molineux being able to move forwards and creating something of a front 5 for Wolves that not only gave them a balance defensively with 5 more defensively rounded players and 5 attacking players, but it also gave those late runners into the box. The energy that Bellegarde and Molineux have was absolutely crucial for Wolves to be able to create and orchestrate attacks. Andre, being incredibly press resistant, gave Wolves a platform to really be able to build off. Hugo Bueno and Doherty then moving forwards, but it was through the rotation in this midfield area with Bellegarde dropping into a pocket to help Andre at times, Molineux doing the same on the other side, that gave Wolves a really good amount of rotation. Here you can see Bellegarde just dropping into a deeper area. Normally he played a little bit higher. You can see in the line where Molineux is as well. He's about to receive the pass. You've got Andre supporting Doherty here, but Bellegarde's just dropping in to give an extra pass. Really good rotation from this Wolves side, and it gave them a platform to build from. Really important. And it was through this midfield trio that gave Wolves the opportunity to then start to orchestrate and build their own dangerous attacks. Wolves' first goal was actually the result of a fantastic passing move that we're going to take a look at right now, because if they were able to replicate this in the Premier League, I have no doubt that they're going to be able to score goals and win games. It begins with Hugo Bueno right here. He's quite central, he's quite infield, and he's behind the halfway line. He passes over towards his centre-back to begin the move. Notice how Everton start to press, and the ball goes over towards Santiago Bueno. As this continues, you've got Andre dropping into a pocket of space. This happened continuously. Him finding spaces for his centre-backs to be able to locate. It gave Wolves an out time after time again. And again, this is the kind of passing move that you really need in this side. Andre gets the ball and passes over towards Doherty. But what else have we got? We've also got Molineux looking to find a pass a little bit higher on to give Doherty an option. You've also got Bellegarde dropping into this space to give Andre a better option as well. The movement from these Wolves players were fantastic, and this is enabled because you've got this 3 in midfield. Really important and really crucial, giving that extra option. As the ball gets played over towards Molineux, you've now got the ability to play between the lines. This is the Everton defensive line, this is the Everton midfield line, and you've got Molineux right in the centre. Look at all that space. It's absolutely fantastic, and this is because of the way that Wolves have been able to move this Everton side around. Once you've got that, you've now got a progression of play. I mentioned Strand Larsen being able to drop back, and that's exactly what happens here. It's a fairly poor pass from Molineux, and he needs to do a little bit better, but Strand Larsen still gets the ball, but keeps the move going. It goes back over to Andre, who decides that he's going to switch the play over towards this left-hand side. Again, keeping the move going. It goes back over to Hugo Bueno, and you might think it's gone back to the player that it started with. Well, that's the entire point, because look at the amount of yards that have been gained. He's way into the Everton half now. They've progressed the ball forwards through that Everton press, and they're now able to go ahead and create an attack. Bueno decides to go backwards because he's pressurized by another Everton player, and he passes over to Krejci. Once Krejci receives the pass, he then drives forwards. What you've also got here is this Everton line being pushed back really far. Look at how deep into their own half they are. It's really good, and it allows for the Wolves centre-back to start to progress forwards. Notice how he drives forwards right here. He's now looking for a pass. He's not being pressurised, he's not being moved on, and he's going to cross the ball into the box. An early cross, an early whipped cross into the box. But what you need are runners. out to in runners, and you've got Arias right here. We're going to focus on him just now. You've got Arias right here going from out to in, a really dangerous run, really difficult to defend against, and as it gets whipped in, you're going to expect him to get onto the ball. He doesn't manage to control it initially, but in the second instance, he gets a fantastic volley with his left foot onto goal. It's a decent save, but as well as that, what have you got? You've got players entering the box. You need midfielders entering the box, and that's exactly what you've got with Molineux right here. He enters the box, and he gets his reward for it. The Everton player McNeil out on that left-hand side sleeps. He doesn't follow Molineux, and Molineux gets a fairly easy tap in to get Wolves' first goal. It is a fantastic passing move, and as I said previously, if they maintain this level of composure, this level of play, they will have no issue scoring goals and winning games in the Premier League. This formation also gave Wolves a good platform to build from defensively. This is the first clean sheet that Wolves have had this season, and while you could point the finger at Everton and say that they could have been offensively better, I also think you could say that Wolves did their job in the areas that they really needed to, and that was out wide, especially when the likes of Jack Grealish came on. What they did so well was create double-ups out wide on both the left and right-hand side, utilising Arias and Hwang Yi-chan to help out their respective fullbacks, and this is something that isn't really available when you're playing with a back three, because you're sacrificing those wide areas for a build-up of players within the centre of the pitch. But here, they were able to double up and prevent a lot of Everton chances from really being created. And aside from a couple crosses that came into the box that were dealt by the Wolves centre-backs pretty fine, it really didn't allow Everton to create all too much. A couple of Sam Johnson saves, but for the most part, Wolves were pretty comfortable. From that point, it was then about preventing their attacking midfielders, or their midfielders generally, from those deep positions moving into these really dangerous pockets of space. This is something that the energy of Molineux and Bellegarde really managed to deal with. And then from that point, it was about finding those counterattacks, those opportunities to get the ball to Strand Larsen, have him hold the ball up and have the pace around him to be able to move forwards, or it was about finding those pockets of space on both the left and right channels. Wolves didn't necessarily manage to capitalise on this all too much, but you saw the vision, you saw where they were going with it, and from that point it was about then finding those runners and those real players that are able to make the difference going back the other way. The game plan was pretty brilliant, and as I said, the defensive protocols that they had were pretty sound. And finally, before we end, let's take a look at Wolves' second goal. It comes from one of those moments that I was talking about, getting the ball into one of those channels and then being able to play from there. It gets headed away by the Everton right back, but it comes over towards the Wolves centre midfielder in this point, who is Krejci. I thought he was absolutely sensational, whether it be at centre-back, whether it be at centre defensive midfield, really, really good. And then, again, the real common denominator, the theme running through this game is that Wolves midfield three. Bellegarde, João Gomes, who I thought is really good as a more attacking midfielder here, and Krejci. He manages to win that header, and then it's about João Gomes challenging for the ball with James Garner. He manages to win it in this particular instance, and then I think the quality of João Gomes being a little bit further forwards is really good. His energy, along with Bellegarde, once more, really, really impressive. Then it's about getting the ball into your striker, making sure he's able to make a darting run. As you've got him making that movement, look at that, he's ready. You've got Tarkowski not holding the same line. João Gomes can see that pass, plays it pretty brilliantly into the space, and then it's all about whether your striker is able to take that moment and whether he's able to compose himself well enough. The goalkeeper possibly should come out for it, but he doesn't. That's then capitalised upon, and it's a fantastic chip just over the goalkeeper to give Wolves a 2-0 victory. Absolutely sensational, and it's a performance and a result to really build from. I think this formation could be the answer for Wolves going forwards, but what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on the game and Wolves' season that is obviously upcoming. What do you make of them? How do you think they're going to do? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, my friends, take care.